Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Nestin Parasade. In today's video, we are going to study about vaccines. This vaccines I had created the entire video from exam point of view. This video might not take great above 5 minutes. So please watch the video up to the end so that definitely from GATE Biotechnology you may get one question from this vaccine point of view. All the notes I had taken from QB Immunology. So let's get into the video. But before that, if you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button below. So let's get started. First thing, we need to know there are two types of immunity. One is active immunity and another one is passive immunity. Active immunity is that what we got, our own immunity. For example, naturally coming infections to inside our body. The next thing is that vaccine. You might be wonder how vaccine will be an active immunity because vaccine is one such compound where we are introducing the live organism as such. The only difference is that the disease causing potential of the organism will be reduced. Next thing is the passive immunity. The example of the passive immunity is natural maternal antibody, that is immunoglobulin. You know, few molecules, immunoglobulin molecule can travel through the placental barrier, and the baby growing inside the mother's body will get the passive immunity from mother. The second example is humanized monoclonal antibody. The third example is antitoxin. It is nothing but the antibody that are derived from the serum of the animal that have been stimulated with a particular antigen. So the particular antigen will be entered inside the body and it will started producing substances, and that's called antitoxin. So there are three different types of vaccines. One is called attenuated, that is live vaccine. Another one is called inactivated, that is killed vaccine. Another one is called DNA vaccine. So attenuated vaccine, we will be introducing an avirulent organism. Avirulent means nothing but the organism have the growth potential but it has lacked the disease causing potential. So, these may be produced by taking the virulent pathogen and we need to grow them in an adverse culture condition, or we need to undergo prolonged passaging of in the virulent pathogen. Example of this vaccines include our BCG, that is Mycobacterium bovis. We need to take the organism and we need to grow them in an increasing concentration of bile. The next example is Polio sabin. It is grown in monkey kidney epithelial cells. The last example of this attenuated vaccine is measles, which is grown in duck embryo cells. You study all those things clearly because you may get questions like that. Like for example, how does Mycobacterium bovis is attenuated? You must know it is attenuated or it may become avirulent by growing them in increasing concentration of bile. This next thing is inactivated vaccine. Inactivated vaccine means nothing but we need to take the virulent pathogen and we need to inactivate by using chemical or by using gamma rays. But one of the major drawbacks with this inactivated vaccine is that during the process of heat or chemical treatment, it may lead to denaturation. At this stage, the epitopic region of the antigen may get disturbed. The last vaccine is DNA vaccine. It is more advanced vaccine. The DNA vaccine is nothing but the plasmid DNA encoding antigenic. That is, we need to identify the pathogen and we need to isolate the DNA from it and we need to purify them and we need to directly inject them into the muscle of a body. You all know muscle cells have dendritic cells. There is a dendritic cells in muscle cell which act as a antigenic presenting cells and it will present the antigen to our cytotoxic or humoral branch of immunity. Next thing is the booster requirement. Attenuated vaccine doesn't require any booster vaccine, but inactivated vaccine requires multiple boosters in order to maintain the um, immunity status. And the next vaccine is the DNA vaccine. It is single injection only necessary. Relative stability. DNA vaccine is highly stable, but attenuated vaccine is less stable. Type of immunity induced. Both attenuated vaccine and DNA vaccine may induce humoral and cell-mediated branch of immunity. But inactivated vaccine only induce humoral immunity, that is, it will only involve in producing antibodies alone. Reversion tendency. This attenuated vaccine may revert to a virulent form since we are creating a virulent organism only. An inactivated vaccine, it cannot able to revert into virulent form. For example, example of the attenuated vaccine is the polio vaccine. At one stage, this polio virus has been attenuated to more toxic form and it lead to paralytic disease. The last thing is the DNA vaccine, it cannot able to revert. So this is one such example of recombinant vector vaccine. We need to see this is one of the widely used technique. For creating the recombinant vector vaccine, we need to take many kind of viruses as a vector. These are the organisms that are used for creating the vector vaccine. That is vaccinia virus, canary pox virus, polio virus, adenovirus, attenuated strain of salmonella, BCG strain of mycobacterium bovis, and strain of streptococcus. So here you need to take a plasmid and you need to put your gene of interest is here. It is DNA encoding an antigen from pathogen. Here you are having an vaccinia promoter. You need to put the gene of interest over here. And in cell culture, you need to grow the recombinant plasmid in the presence of vaccinia virus. So there is a homologous recombination occurring. Okay. So this recombinant plasmid may enter into the vaccinia virus and may get replicated. And then we need to purify them. The selection process used for this recombinant vaccinia vector is BUDR selection, and the recombinant vector vaccine will be ready. Here, the vaccinia virus is having the gene of interest of ours. Okay. The next thing is that example of the vaccines, whole organism vaccines. That is, the entire organism will be taken as a vaccine. It is classified into bacterial cell and viral particle. You need to study the code word that I have been put over here. These are example of the disease. For example, if you take the inactivated vaccine, anthrax, cholera, pertussis, plague, for all those diseases, the scientists and doctors are using inactivated form of organism as a vaccine. Whereas for tuberculosis and typhoid, the scientists and doctors using live attenuated organism for the vaccine. Next thing is that viral particle. Viral particle we know hepatitis, influenza, polio, that is polio, sock, rabies, rubella. For all those things we are using inactivated organisms. For measles, mumps, polio, sabin, rotavirus, chickenpox, and yellow fever, we are using live and attenuated organism as a vaccine. The next thing is that as we got many kind of drawbacks with reference to the whole organism vaccine, the scientists started isolating the purified macromolecule. Like in some organism, the entire organism might not having a virulency, or only a part of organism might have. So the scientists has concentrated on those part and they had isolated that part alone. For example, toxoids. Toxoids are nothing but inactivated in exotoxin. Example of toxoids is diphtheria and tetanus. So we need to isolate the bacterial toxin, that is bacterial exotoxin, and we need to inactivate them by using formaldehyde and to form toxin. These toxins are called as antitoxoid antibody. The next thing is that capsular polysaccharide. We all know Haemophilus influenzae, Neisseria meningitis, Streptococcus pneumoniae. For all these organisms, the capsular polysaccharide is involved in causing disease to humans. So scientists have isolated the polysaccharide and protein carrier for Haemophilus influenzae, and Neisseria they had isolated polysaccharide from Neisseria to create vaccine, and for Streptomyces pneumoniae they had isolated 23 distinct capsular polysaccharide. For hepatitis B, it is also an example of recombinant vaccine. They had isolated an hepatitis B surface antigen for production of vaccines. They know the gene encoding potential and they had isolated this gene and they cloned and expressed them by using recombinant DNA technology in yeast cell. Note the point, this vaccine is created in yeast cell and they grow in a bioreactor in a larger quantity and they will break open the yeast cell and they will release the vaccine and at last they will make them and purify them and given as a vaccine. So example of recombinant vaccine is hepatitis. So that's all for today's video, guys. Definitely, I'll improve my teaching style and I'll bring you with more videos. Thanks for watching.